Hi, Brett Lusso, Director of Business Development at Handling Systems International. Today is another session on crane technology. We'll be talking about the accessories available on our jib and gantry cranes. We get lots of questions about the accessories, what they look like and their functionality. So we'd like to cover some of the more common accessories today. So let's start with template and anchor bolts. The anchor bolts are what need to be precast in concrete for jib cranes 2 ton and above. These start at 3/4 inch diameter and 36 inches in length. And depending on the overall capacity and span of the crane system, can be as big as 2 inches in diameter. With these, we provide a threaded end that includes a washer and a nut. This part would be embedded into the concrete with the remaining thread sticking above, so that when the crane arrives, it can be set down on the precast anchor. The accessory that we commonly then would sell with this would be the template. So the template that we provide is a steel template, and we do steel rather than wood or paper because it's much less susceptible to things like warping or bending. We want the tolerances to be tight so that the anchors don't move, and so that when the crane arrives, they're in place and they match up with the bottom of the jib crane nicely for easy placement of the mast. So that's the template and anchor bolts. Now, another real common accessory, almost always needed, would be a tight wire kit or tagline. So the tight wire kit is simply that. It's a tight wire that sits along the side of the boom, and it's designed to keep the power cord away from the trolley so that the trolley doesn't run over or next to the power supply cord. So this is mounted off to the side of the boom with a series of some simple eye bolts and some S-hooks to basically allow that power supply cord to travel back and forth. And it can also be supplied with these nice plastic rolling type trolleys that hold the power supply cord and roll very smoothly along the cord itself. The next common item is either a top or bottom entry collector. So if you want your crane to rotate 360 degrees, you need one of these two accessories. A top entry collector is just that. It mounts on top of the crane, and power is supplied from above, or the top. In this case, it comes into the slip ring or top entry collector, and then you can rotate or spin your crane 360 degrees without the issue of wrapping up or twisting your power cord. So this is a top entry collector, again, mounts on top of the crane, and its sister would be the bottom entry collector. Bottom entry collector actually mounts on top of the crane as well, but it's where the power is fed from. So in this case, from the bottom or from the floor, you'd run the power up through the mast to the slip ring. This is mounted on top of the crane and then protected by this shield to prevent dust and dirt from accumulating. And again, its functionality is so you can operate or rotate the crane 360 degrees without having any interruption with your power supply cord or twisting your power supply cord. Now, if that's not an issue because we're not going to rotate our crane 360 degrees, then we would buy the accessory known as a rotation stop, which is quite frankly 1/2 inch square bar. In the field, once you determine where your crane needs to stop, maybe it's a 180 degree rotation, you simply weld these in place on the mast so that as the roller comes in contact with the rotation stop, it stops the crane. The last accessory for the jib cranes that I'd like to talk about is our epoxy anchoring system. So at Handling Systems International, we actually manufacture foundationless jib cranes up to 1 ton, 16-foot span that don't require the anchor bolts that we talked about earlier. So what these are held in place by is a 2-part epoxy anchor. We happen to use the Hsi anchor. These are 3/4 by 8.5 inches long, again with a nut and washer. And then we provide the 2-part epoxy as part of the anchoring system. The other accessory that you need to buy at least once, because you can use it over and over again, is the dispenser. The dispenser is a Hsi dispenser designed specifically for that 2-part epoxy. And again, this is something you buy one time, and then you can reuse over and over again for our foundationless jib cranes. The last item is for our gantry cranes. So the gantry cranes, typically the tight wire kit is an accessory that you would purchase. And the second item would be either wheel or swivel locks. So these two accessories are available because we don't know if you want to lock 2 wheels or 4 wheels, or no wheels. But basically the brake is a compression brake, just keeps the wheel from rotating or spinning, and the swivel lock keeps the caster from swiveling. So you can lock out, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, as many casters as you want. And these are very common accessories, again, swivel or wheel locks for our gantry cranes. I hope that helps clarify some of the accessories that are available. If you need more information, please visit our website at hsicrane.com.